everyone, so welcome back. We're in our own room where we woke up after fighting the eyeless demon. I don't remember her name right now, but I'm sure we'll find her again soon. I think this is our stash, right? Yep. Oh, no, it's not. A sovereign dragon. Someone's a tiny pet sovereign dragon? No way. Sovereign Dragon's great wisdom provides +1 morale to knowledge, world arcana, and religion and nature lore checks. Oh wow, that's so cool. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. Do we need to equip it? What do we do with it? Here it is. What do we do with it? It's a usable item. So, how many? Can I only use it once? Known for their wisdom, majestic sovereign dragons rarely leave their homeland of Tiansha. However, this little dragon seems to have quite the thirst for adventure. Oh, but I don't want to summon it and then just have it go away. Like, I want to keep summoning it. That makes me nervous. All right, I'll keep it. We'll try it. And I'm hoping we can do it like once a day or something. All right, so we're in the Defender's Heart right now. It looks like our companions are here, so nobody died during the fights with the level 28 demon. So we have Camellia, Lann, Selam, and a lot of named characters apparently. Yeah, we have a lot of people to talk to. All right. So we have a personal chest there. We found the dragon. It seems to be loot all around. And let's go talk to some people. And the cat that Anivia used to trick us. That won't happen again. So who do we have here? Yeah, Camellia and the Crusader. How much longer can we hold out? A day or two? Well, hopefully. Let's see what Camellia has to say. She looks you over, pensively toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that she wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long and she slips back into cautious silence. I think we'll go into the character details a bit later, but let's make some small talk with her. Oh yeah, the amulet. That amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? Ah, but I think that one's not useless. I think that was the one that hid your alignment. Yeah. I guess we can't pursue that more. You're much more relaxed during combat. Your battle cries are uninhibited. I don't think I paid that attention to them, but yeah, let's push on this. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes. So you've noticed? To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle as my ever-present companions. Oh right, because she's a shaman, yeah. In the heat of combat, they become rather vocal. Alright. Your speech tells me you are of noble birth. Camellia laughs her practiced musical laugh as she watches you from under lowered lashes. You're most insightful, a fine quality to have. Her laughter ends and unspoken words hang in the silence. No, that's not something that we would say. There's nothing wrong with being a noble. People are not born equal. No, I don't believe that, no. Just because they were born a noble, yeah, they have some advantages, a lot actually, but we weren't born noble, right? We're a monk and we're pretty powerful ourselves. Maybe not in like direct combat, but we know we can hold our own. Um, yeah, well, I suppose we all have our good and bad qualities. I wouldn't have pegged you for a philosopher. Well, Camellia, we're a monk and a scholar and a sensei. Of course, we're a philosopher. Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers. Although they don't get all the credit, I am a most diligent student. Okay. Now, we're keeping her in the party. We're not going to tell that. So, I guess as long as we're here, we might as well ask her about herself. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? I talk to the spirits of this tormented land and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. That's convenient that the spirits are calling you right when you stop wanting to talk to me. But alright, let's leave her alone for now. Okay. Who else do we have here? Horgus. Do we want to talk to Horgus? Oh, wait. Yeah, we do, because he owes us a bunch of money. Oh, yeah. 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Horgus Gwerm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, well, I mean, who said anything about that? Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. Well, I mean, I know what he means by someone like me. Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in the money. Like, what kind of reward? 1,000 gold coins, he says without hesitation. So, even though Stila's not currently in our party, she's still in the tavern, and she's probably still with us, so we can use her diplomacy skill for this skill check. It's a DC of 23, which is pretty big. I think we have to roll like a 16 or above to make this happen. I mean, yeah, let's try it. Double the reward, and I'll think about it. Failed again. Ha! Yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Galfrey herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Well, we tried. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabris. I still have... well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. Well, that sounds simple enough. We'll probably have to face some thieves or whatnot. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside of this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors. That's what they are. Well, also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She's of noble birth after all. Again with Camellia, there is a link between these two. And just for the hell of it, let's ask him what he means for someone like me. For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter. Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight perhaps, noble of heart but without a coin to your name? Horgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves, so why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? Oh, we succeeded a perception check. Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear the notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous, but taking great pains to conceal it. Alright, so even if we're not interested in a particular dialogue option, it does seem like some of them might have something useful to us, like this perception check. We wouldn't have gotten it unless we went down that path. So now we know more about Horgus, and we gain some experience. That's always good. Yeah, so noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Horgus puts his hand on his hips. Oh really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Gwerm how to address the rabble. Alright, well, since you put it that way, we have a deal. Marvelous, most excellent. Horgus relaxes, smoothing out a few tense lines of his face. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. Well, I hope that doesn't... Is that a real game mechanic? I'll be curious to see that. That would be interesting if that's the case. Alright, so we have a ton of quests already, and probably we'll get more if we talk to everybody in the tavern, but since we're in this central location, it's probably best to take all the quests and then go out and do them and then come back. We might have a time limit on some, but I don't know. We'll see how that works. Yeah, there's a ton here. We'll go through them when we go outside and just to check how best to tackle them. Some might be closer, some might be further, some might be easier to do, others longer. Yeah, we'll see. Who do we talk to next? So Crusaders over here. Staunton Vhane. Staunton Vhane, my man. You had something going with a demon here. Yeah. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. Name's Staunton Vhane. If you've heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arilu Vorlesh. Arilu, that sounds familiar. We'll probably see her later. That I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned. That Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. So what are the condemned? The condemned is a military unit made up of petty criminals conscripted as disposable soldiers and frontline fodder in the Mendevian Crusades. Oh, yeah, harsh. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know. I think the demon mentioned something that he was a part of the fall of the other city. But let's see what he says. Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the world wound instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried, they wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. He shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. So, yeah. It's, I mean, it's admirable that he kept fighting for decades. He did something horrible, probably got a lot of people killed, but if he's been trying for so long, then he deserves a shot, I think. Come on, Staunton, you can come to our party if you want. You keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better because that's what the queen ordered you to? There is honor in that. True. You may be right, but you know, even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my discipline alone forever. I pray to Torag, though he does not listen, that my body breaks before my conscience does. Alright. Yes, so many years. Surely you paid your penance by now? That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. The condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarvenkind would answer my prayers just once, not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? Oh, wow, that's really hard. Okay. Okay, so we can offer him some encouragement. Irori is our god, so the equivalent of Buddha in this world. Yeah, Irori's motto is endure and renew. Don't let the hardships break you. Use them to become stronger. Staunton gives you a long, gloomy look. That's good advice for someone full of vigor who's never faced any real adversity. When true hardship comes, it doesn't ask your permission to break you. It just breaks you. And there's no coming back from that. Oh wow, he might be depressed. Maybe, just a smidge. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Duran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the Condemned console themselves by thinking I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Poor guy. Commander Irabeth seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So, yeah, let's poke at this a bit. How could this whole city fall because of one man? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Duran. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, I don't. Alright, I mean, that makes sense. We did have that thread to follow about the storyteller. Yeah, so I need to talk to the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The storyteller. Staunton strokes his beard in thought. A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. Yeah, but I have a feeling he'll survive. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. Okay, I was hoping we can get Staunton into the party, but maybe later. Alright, we advanced one of our quests to find a storyteller, so that's good. I have to go now. Go on, yeah, maybe we'll see each other later. Look at the cat, look at the cat. Let's do a bit of saving. I'm always afraid that the game will crash and I'll lose all my progress. Crusaders, okay. Oh, we have the wounded here. Some survivors. Oh, who is this guy? So we have some name characters here. Vissaliy Rathimus. Alright, let's speak to you. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Oh, he's a trader. Alright. Who are you? Vissaliy Rathimus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Okay. Who is that boy with you? I guess this guy rifling for things. This one? Kiado the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy and his faith is strong. He serves Erastil though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, scrolls. I have a lot of them. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed, no surprises, but you'd better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old and my powers are needed here. I don't know. We don't have any clerics in the party. All right, show me your scrolls. So the price here. Oh, wow. These things cost a lot. And they're pretty good. Raise Dead, Ring of Blood Magic. Okay. A lot of cool stuff here. Meta Magic Rod. Amulet and Natural. I mean, we can buy this. Daredevil Boots. This pair of magical boots shimmers in vibrant shades of blazing red and burning orange when they are held up to the lights. These boots allow the wearer to gain extra maneuverability while moving through hazardous areas. While using acrobatics to avoid provoking an attack of opportunity, nice, the wearer gains a +5 competence bonus to mobility. Okay. Whenever they make a successful mobility check, while the ability is active, they gain a +1 bonus on attack rolls. Cool. Okay. So we have almost 4,000 gold. Do we have anything to bulk sell? Yeah, incense, sharing skills. Now I thought that honey and soft cheese would be... Let's keep these. These are ingredients, right? We use them to make food. Giant spider legs as well, from what I remember from Kingmaker, but I might be wrong about that. Let's just sell these things first. Then I'm going to sell the weapons too. I am going to sell a bunch of stuff, including all of the armors we had discarded because we were encumbered. We had quite a few, so we have an extra 3.3k gold. Let's sell that. And I think we can afford the Daredevil Boots and the Ring of Protection. And I'll hold off on the Amulet for now. Is there anything else we want here? Guardian of Life. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't afford that anyway. So let's stick to what we bought. Deal. And I kept some weapons in case we get new party members. But yeah, we're good for now. Can we talk to Kato? No. Right, so I do see that we have a new level to assign, but once we have everybody in the party, I will do that. Let's see what we can do with the new stuff we bought. So we bought the Ring of Protection. Does this stack with what I currently have? Yes, it does. All right. And okay, so for the Daredevil Boots, I think I took a lot of attacks of opportunity in our last fights, so I'm going to equip these for now. And yeah, if anybody else needs them later, I will do that. Okay. Who else do we have here? Well, Anivia, we've already talked to her. We have Lann. Let's speak to him quickly. He greets you with a nod. Here for a chat? I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. What do you think of life on the surface? It must be very different from life underground. Of course, as far as living conditions, the surface is definitely a better place to be. It's easier to get good food and water, not to mention build a house and even grow a few things. In older, well-established settlements, you don't have to deal with anything scarier than rats or maybe foxes stealing chickens. As for the kind of lives you have, I heard a story about demon worshippers abducting a whole family and sacrificing them one by one while the others watched. But there were some brave Crusader knights nearby and they killed the villains and saved everyone. And I heard another story. A young blacksmith lost his arm in a fire, couldn't work to feed his wife and baby. They tried their best and lived from hand to mouth, but they were still destitute. In the end, the desperate blacksmith robbed a traveler one night on the road, but there were some brave Crusader knights nearby and they caught the robber and threw him in prison. Not long after, his wife smothered their baby and hanged herself. Oh, like where do you get these stories, Lann? Where do you hear these? Up here, the same person can probably say he's protecting the innocent from demons and then look the other way while the same innocent starves just because they were born into a poor family. Queen Gelfrey prolongs her life with sun orchid elixirs that cost enough to feed an entire city. Back in our caves, everyone is equally poor, and if one person starves, the whole tribe starves. We don't abandon our own in times of trouble. That's the power of a tribe. The laws of the surface are made so that some get everything and others get nothing. I might just be a naive fool from the caves, but I don't understand how it's possible to have so much more and share so much less. Yeah, welcome to 2026, Lann. Anyway, look who I'm talking to. You must know life on the surface much better than I do. Well, we've been stuck in a library in a monastery for most of our lives, so we probably don't know that much. Yeah, we're in a struggle for our very survival against the abyss. This is no time to upend society in a quest for fairness. So you think if the world wound hadn't happened, the surface would have already changed for the better? I'm not so sure. I'm not even sure my kinfolk wouldn't find their way to inventing their own aristocracy if they ever got their hands on anything valuable enough to divide unfairly. But what's the point of being prince of all caves, holes, and gorges if your only throne is a boulder and your only crown is made of rat skulls? Good point. I'd like to know more about you, Lann. Let me guess. Your first question is, can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? Well, now that you mention it, that would be pretty difficult. You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't all that common underground. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while and had a chance to learn a couple of things. The language and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams, "Demon," and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler, the kind that used the dungeons of Canabris to secretly move and store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and the winners threw the loser down a hole. My dad went to check if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them. Or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he later even left his home caves. She left her smuggling behind, and they began an honest life together. That's sweet. That's the delightful story of how old Lann came into this world. The next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendev. They're at war against demons, after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasants screaming demon had something to do with it. Or maybe dad just couldn't stand life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Okay, did you come with me so you could see the surface again? I know that wasn't it. I just don't have much patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Canabris, I'll be on the side of the people they're attacking. He looks away. Lann, you're my companion, and companions should trust each other. I'm counting on you to give me honest answers, not excuses. He looks ashamed. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents, all because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface. A healthy child with the right number of hands and feet, no apparent defects, no missing organs or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risked having more children. They thought it would somehow be alright. Oh no. I could have had 4 brothers. The first was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him, for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end, it was his weak heart that killed him. That's sad. Then there was another pregnancy and birth. I pretended I was sleeping but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. Mom moaning, yes. The priest praying. Then I dared to open the door a little and looked inside. The priest stood there very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Oh no. Yeah, enough. Don't keep There's no reason to keep going. We get the idea. Hell no. I started to tell you, and I'll make it to the end. You want to know why I followed you to the surface? Well, here's the reason. He exhales and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out that this time Mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the two others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. He didn't want to leave. I could see it in his face, but I think my mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the first crusade stood between them, not to mention the 4 dead babies. Old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go up with you to the surface and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it always haunted me that I'd die in a world where 4 crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept growing. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing things is too much to ask, then at least get a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world won't owe me a great debt. The lives of 4 brothers, all my mother's tears, my father's broken heart, it's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple of demons won't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade if you want. He grins. I used to think that things would be better if I'd never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Alright, that's pretty tragic. Why didn't you go up and join the Crusades before? I couldn't just abandon my tribe. I'm their best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me. But now that the demons have nearly destroyed Canabras and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out just wasn't an option anymore. Anyway, I'm more useful up here than I am down there. Plus, the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been paid. Would you like to find your mother now that you're up here? No. The word flies from Lann's mouth faster than an arrow. Then he continues. I don't want to meet her, not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half-elf. She's barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. Well, I do, but seeing that this is a game, we'll probably run into her sooner or later. Yeah, I am very sorry, truly. He smiles, sadly. Well, then I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to listen to my whining. Okay. Yeah. Your parents loved and survived hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. What if you find true love, someone who won't leave you no matter what? Not like Wenduag. And break my beloved's heart when I die in her arms after 5 years? That's a fine thing to do to the person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, thanks for sharing, Lann. Okay, yeah, I want to talk about Wenduag. Are you sure? Alright. Well, we know they were more than friends. Tell me about your connection to Wenduag. My connection to Wenduag? I mean, where do I start? We grew up together, trained together. She was the chief's daughter. Oh. She was groomed to be the best all her life, and then I came along. We were rivals, but we dragged each other out of tight spots too. I've always been drawn to grand heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Wendu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who'd make it through the shield maze, but instead... Yeah, it'd be better if she died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching a friend become a shadow of their former self is unbearable. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, because the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth. To admit that she's just a cannibal that demons use as they wish? He frowns. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I'll never understand what drives her. Were you just friends or more? Wow, you really don't pull your punches, do you? There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Wenduag knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love is. Maybe she just wasn't capable of those kinds of feelings. Thanks. Okay. If you ever want to reopen any more of my old wounds, you know where to find me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, can you wear a hat? Sure, I can, but certain designs don't suit me well. He speaks in a deadly serious voice. Well, we'll just have to find a hat that does fit on your head. Oh yeah, and mongrels have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting old or dying. How old are you? He chuckles. I'm as old as I look. No surprises there. But remember Saul? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see the target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself it'll get better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing. The climbing is harder than before. He clenches and unclenches his fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand. You can't even put on your greaves without help. When you're washing your face in a stream, sometimes you catch sight of a gray-haired, wrinkled old man you don't recognize. And this goes on until one day you come across a cave beast and you realize you can't outrun it. My dad kept diaries marking all the signs, and I saw it too. The last year I had to help him get out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked that dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant Pharasma. I'm not sure who Pharasma is. Every morning I wake up and check how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I know I don't have much time. I need to do something useful before I forget why I came here. Alright, thanks for sharing, Lann. Sure thing, yeah. Do we want to... Alright, I guess we'll make this an episode about the party and the members. Alright, you said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What exactly did you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me. He sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It would be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons, then a few more demons, then more demons after that. Good honest rage and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life's taught me anything, it's that there are no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the Crusades did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the ward stones. Their actions kept the lands of Mendev safe for decades. That's what I want. For my dumb short life to have meant something. You think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself? Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the ward stones and flaunt Iomede's banner. Any fool can charge at the front lines of the demonic armies and die there, but what good will that do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price, especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war and tell everyone else what nutcases we were. Alright. Yeah, he does belong in our parties and we know a bit about his people, but we can ask this later. Thank you for your answers. So long.